Hey, look, the cavalry might be on its way. At least a little bit anyway. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. If you're already part of the squad, hey, appreciate you being here already and being at day one and riding with us. And if you're new here, smash the sub button. It really helps out the channel. And the more we grow, the better content we can bring you guys. So let's get right to it. Good news on the defensive side of the ball, of course. And that is that Jonathan Gannon just confirmed the Cardinals are opening the practice windows for pass rusher B.J. Ojulari and cornerback Garrett Williams this week. This is massive news, right? Massive, because these aren't depth pieces. These aren't guys just to bring in to fill in roster spots. These are premium, hand-selected pieces the Cardinals you have as starters on our defense, foundational players. Williams jumps back in. He gets back in right away. Practice Tuesday, and then during the bonus day coming out of the bye. And then BJ is supposed to return to practice, I think, on Thursday is what they were saying. That officially launches a 21-day activation window where the team has to decide, hey, do they make the roster? Do we put them on the 53-man roster? Do they dress out? Or do they need more time to recover? This is the first real progress update we've really gotten on BJ in a long time. He hasn't played since he tore the ACL friggin' forever ago at this point. So for him just being back on the grass is going to be a massive moment that I hope all the cameras are there for, because it's huge for us. He is a straight-up killer in that defense that we need back in there as soon as possible, hopefully at full strength. Before the injury, he was just unstoppable. He was a lot of fun back, always bothering, running backs and quarterbacks. It was always a fun time to watch him play. So the defense is tough. It's structurally sound when healthy, but it's like true pass rushing juice, and a guy who could bend the edge and close, and that's exactly what BJ was drafted for, and what he was doing for us before he got hurt. Now, if he looks healthy, he doesn't really need to be a star right away. He could just be rotate in behind Josh Sweat, Baron Browning, Calais Campbell, and all that, and bring a burst that instantly lifts the ceiling of this pass rush group, right? Which is great news coming up with the slate of games we got coming up here in the rest of the season. This kind of move that doesn't just add a player, it changes math for opposing offensive coordinators. So there's that. Williams was playing excellent nickel corner football, right? Before going down in week 2 against Carolina. Since then, Jalen Thompson's been forced inside far more than Gannon wants him to be, and far more than he wants to be, for that matter. And getting Williams back doesn't just fix one spot. It lets Jalen go back to being the full-time roaming safety that we love him to be, instead of being stuck as a full-time nickel. So, it works out for more than one player, obviously. This move restores the entire shape of this Cardinals secondary. And let's not forget, Walter Nolan III already returned 2 weeks ago. This defense is finally legitimately getting back into full health, right? We actually get to see what Walter Nolan III should be able to do. To round out the news, Arizona also brought back Michael Carter back to the practice squad, along with defensive back Darren Hall. In turn, had to release Bryson Green and Dearness Johnson, who actually got a carry or two last game. And Nick Muse also had to go from the practice squad. I think Nick Muse is a tight end. So that sucked to see, but we needed the space. And while we're here, Kyler Murray is trending towards returning for Monday Night Football against the Cowboys. So here's the headline, plain and simple, right? Cardinals are getting healthy at edge, nickel corner, and maybe even at quarterback all at the same time. This is not the team we saw in weeks 3, 4, and 5. This is a version Monty and Gannon built on paper. So, again, I don't expect BJ to play. Garrett, I think, might play, depending. He already practiced, Tuesday or practice today, hopefully, and tomorrow and Friday and Saturday, and we get to see whether we're going to have him or not. Anyway, the next week is going to tell us exactly who this version of the Cardinals actually is, especially on the defensive side. So we may finally be about to see the intended version of his defense, hopefully, and maybe even the full throttle offense, take the field for once together. So strap in. It's about to get real. Hopefully it's about to get real. Again, Nolan was at practice. Gannon didn't give any detail at his press conference today. But hopefully that means he's going to be able to play and get some snaps in against Dallas, if not the week after. And so there you go. And apparently Kyler was moving around at practice pretty good today, so that might be a signal he's probably going to, on his way to return to the field after missing 2 games, to prepare for that debate coming up this week on who to start, because that's definitely going to be an issue we have to discuss. So what does the defense need to do against the Dallas Cowboys to get a win? Because that's why we play football, to get a win. We're not the Jags or the Jets who like to, just toss games. If we lose games, it's because we suck, plain and simple, or we play like crap. Not because we're trying to, get a better draft. Because honestly, there's really nobody out there at quarterback anyway that I'm comfortable getting. But that's a topic for another day. All right, Bird Gang, week 9. Dallas Cowboys, we already know how this goes. If you let Dak Prescott stay comfortable and you let CeeDee Lamb run free and George Pickens on top of that, you're going to suffer the same fate as every other team that lets Dallas stick to the script. So from a defensive standpoint, what do we have to do to beat them? All right. Dallas is a rhythm offense. When Dak is in motion, cadence, RPO flow, he does that thing when he snaps. He goes, okay, here we go. Does that whole thing. His warm up is hilarious. Like the whole, I get what he's doing, but someone put a really catchy Mexican song to it. They put Chona to it, and it was hilarious. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up on Twitter or YouTube, wherever. It is hilarious. But anyway, priority number one against this Dallas Cowboys offense: disruption, early and often. Pre-snap chaos. Do not show him anything clean, damn it. And that means late safety rotations. Disguise cover two until the last absolute possible moment, right? Simulate pressures, show 6, bring 4, drop 2 maybe. Force Dak to hold the ball just for one more second. Give those edge rushers a chance to give Josh Sweat and Calais Campbell and even Zaven Collins a chance to get in there and hit him. And honestly, start sending Baker in there more on blitzes. Freaking crying out loud, Gannon. God, we've been missing seeing that dude just skyrocket in and hit a quarterback. Now, if Dak gets in rhythm early and he starts like 6 for 6, 7 for 7, 8 for 8, we're in trouble. If we make him miss, right, starts 2 for 6, 2 for 8, whatever, 4 for whatever, we got dictated in the tempo clearly. So there's that end of it. Now, on the other side of it is those wideouts, right? CD is the entire stress engine of the offense. If Dallas needs a first down, they don't even have to like guess, they discuss where they're going. It's going to CD and or Jake Ferguson, tight end, sorry. Anyway, so there you go. So you need to bracket CD on money down, especially on those third and mediums, right? And force the ball to anybody else, really. Like, you got to give yourself a chance. Like, now if Ferguson gets it, fair enough, okay? You can live if Jake Ferguson gets 6 for 65 yards. Fine, make somebody else beat you. You cannot live if CD goes for 12 for like 150 yards and like 2 scores, right? You need to cut the head of the snake, and that is CD Lamb. Do not give Dak Prescott a clean target. And yeah, damn it, keep an eye on Pickens. He proved he could wreck a game plan when CD's doubled, so we got to keep that in mind. So this is huge. And it's going to sound weird, but this is not a sack game. This is containment game, right? The Cardinals cannot let Dak extend plays and unlock off-script explosives. That means rush the lanes, discipline, with some discipline, right? No flying 7 yards upfield and giving him a freeway. Make him play the math, not chaos. Force him to drive 10 plays, not 3, right? And if you let Dak play, hero ball, like you're kind of gambling here, right? But hero ball, he's not crazy good at, but he can definitely make things happen, right? If you force him to be patient, he's going to eventually get greedy, so we can get him to throw us a couple interceptions. So hopefully we don't let him stay on his own script, our own script, and have him just pick us apart for 300 yards and whatever scores. Dallas is elite between the 20s, so if they can get stubborn inside the red zone, sure, but they're elite between the 20-yard lines. So this is where Gannon's defense can win the game, right? Force field goals, avoid the touchdowns, right? Bend, don't break. Go heavy, flood the passing lanes, force throwaways. Even one red zone stop can flip the entire script on this game, honestly, right? Because we could score too, especially if we're healthy. And remember, Dallas is a front-runner team. If you frustrate them early, they press. They get really impatient, and for some reason they start kind of like fumbling over their own feet. So disrupt Dak's rhythm, right? Contain CeeDee Lamb. Don't worry about sacking Dak too much. Contain him in there, and make sure you keep bodies on CeeDee Lamb. It's how it goes. Turn red zone drives into field goals. This game is not. It's about discipline, and this guy's chaos. It's not about hunting highlights here. If the Cardinals defense executes the exact blueprint, I think we can drag Dallas into a slow, uncomfortable fight, and we can win it. Right? Again, keeping the game close has not been a great thing for us, but I think we just change a couple things here and there. We can change our fate here and get a win in Dallas, which would be huge to win in Jerry World, especially if Kyler plays. Because if Kyler plays, that means he's healthy. It's something I've been thinking about, though, since Gannon said he'd start Kyler against Dallas if he was healthy. So that gave me an idea. Okay? And it's a far-fetched one for sure. I don't believe it's going to happen, but I think it's something a lot of us have been thinking about, right? Let's assume Kyler's 100% ready to go against Dallas, okay? If Kyler has a great game against the Dallas Cowboys, if he looks sharp, he's dynamic, he's vintage, right? Which is exactly when I believe we'd have to try and trade him, right? Yeah. I mean, look, just think about it, okay? It might, unlikely that it happens, but I think you got to at least think about it. Not because he's bad, because he's not, but because if he does really well on Monday Night Football, his value is not going to be any higher this season than it would be against on prime time Monday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. There's two versions of NFL front offices that I believe are there, okay? The sentimental ones that hold on too long, right? Let Brett Favre return 18 times. Let Peyton Manning in there for a little too long or whatever it is, and other teams obviously that draft guys that they don't need to be in there, they just hang on to them because they don't want to seem wrong. We're one of them, right? And then there's the assassins who move early before the market peaks, right? What is Monty Austin for? Because we get to find out. If Kyler lights up Dallas, maybe sell him at peak value, right? You maybe walk away with a first rounder at least. Maybe you could sucker somebody into it, Cleveland Browns, and maybe get a shot at a high draft pick. Depending on who you trade him to. Maybe even find the quarterback you're looking for. I don't know, right? And then you open up a bunch of cap space, right? Because Kyler's expensive, and then you don't wait to see. Like, you don't wait until the league sees his flaws again, right? You sell everyone. You sell when everyone convinces themselves they can unlock Kyler Murray. Or we can fix him, right? It's like girls that see the bad boy getting in trouble. I could fix him. No, you can't. Breaking news: you cannot fix that dude. That dude is broken. All right, let's talk real football business here, though. Kyler's cap hit is way too big. I think this season and next season, or I think next season is huge, right? The contracts for McBride, Paris Johnson Jr., Marvin Harrison, Darius Robinson, they're all coming. You can't pay everybody, so you either reset the quarterback clock, right, and get a rookie, get rid of Kyler, get a rookie, and see if we can make something happen in the first 3-4 years of that dude's contract while your core is ascending, or you commit half your cap to a quarterback you're not sure can carry into you January and win shootouts against Mahomes, Burrow if he's playing, or whoever else, right? Kyler being good is exactly why you trade him, not why you keep him. So, what ruins franchises? It's not being bad, because that's not what ruins franchises. It's being mid always, which is us, okay? Thinking the Jets, Miami Dolphins, everybody. Thinking you're close and refusing to rip the Band-Aid. If Kyler beats Dallas in prime time, the fan base will scream to run it back. That's how you end up being the Vikings or the Titans or the freaking post Russell Wilson Seahawks, right? Always competitive, never terrifying again. So you have to choose now, I think, between two futures. The bold reset, right? QB on rookie deal, or 4 or 5 premium years to go all in, or the comfortable trap, right? Pay Kyler, hope it's enough, live in wild card purgatory if we even get there. And Monty doesn't want a purgatory, neither does Gannon, right? Bidwell might, because Bidwell likes being mid, but forget him. We actually want to win football, unlike that dude. If Kyler cooks Dallas, it's the best possible outcome, I think, because it's the exit point. You boost his stock, you weaponize the narrative, you flip into a desperate team. Think Raiders, think Browns, think Jets for sure. Someone dying for hope. Someone whose fan base is losing their ever-loving minds, okay? So you reset Arizona's timeline perfectly with McBride ascending, Paris Johnson, continuing his ascendance to elite, being elite, offensive lineman, and Marvin Harrison Jr. continues to develop, hopefully with a better quarterback, and they actually get the damn ball. So then you got Walter Nolan, Robinson, B.J. Ojulari comes back, and as your front seven future, you're looking at like 80 plus million cap right there, probably, right? So a good Kyler is the good Kyler is the moment you sell, not settle. That's how you build a dynasty, not just a playoff team. This is not emotional. This is execution. This is chess, right? Bird game. Let the mentions burn. All right. What do you guys think we should do? Should we, if Kyler has a really good game, really try to push hard and trade him before the deadline, right? Call Cleveland immediately. Call New York Jets immediately, right? You can get crazy and call the Dolphins, although we don't want to take Tua back, and they don't want a Tua, clone. Although I don't know, that whole thing's a little messy. But you call and you ask around, see who wants him, who not. Maybe someone will call us. Who knows, right? Answer that phone, Monty. See what happens. Again, far-fetched idea. Incredibly unlikely it happens, but wouldn't it be nuts if it actually did? Hell, why not send Kyler and I don't know, low picks? No, nothing in the first, first, second, or third round pick for Breece Hall. Why not? Just don't take Justin Fields back, please. Like, we don't need to talk Kyler. We don't. Although that guy has problems of his own that are different than Kyler. I'll be honest with you. All right. Anyway, that will do it for tonight's. Ooh, 1 second. There we go. That will do it for today's. For today's Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Don't forget to hit that sub, hit the bell, hit the like, leave a comment. I will see you all tomorrow. Again, subscribe, tell your friends, bring everybody over. Leave stuff in the comments. Tomorrow I will have to do a comment video because there are enough comments for it. But definitely get you a comment video here for the Thursday show, and then the Friday show will bring the rest of it. and then we'll go deep into whatever the injury report says and other storylines. I have a couple ideas here for if we don't get a Breece Hall, a couple of the guys we can go look into that I think a lot of people won't see coming. All right. Anyway, Red Sea, let's get it. Go Cardinals.